Hello friends, in this video we will configure the server using the postgresql.conf file. In the next video we will configure the authentication file, that is the pg_hpa.conf file. Now we are working on the server machine, so let's dive in. The first thing we need to do is that we need to open the postgresql file, which resides in the data directory. Okay, the section we need to work on is this one, the connection and authentication. The first thing we need to uncomment the listen addresses and make it start so that the server can listen to any TCP requests to connect, whether it's an IPv4 or an IPv6. The port is 5432. Obviously, we are using Postgres. Maximum connection 100, super user reserved connections 3. It's better to uncomment this one because sometimes when you start your application you will get an exception prompting you that you should reserve 3 connections from the database pool to the super user. The authentication timeout, SSL off. It's important to make it on so that your database, PostgreSQL database cluster, will be SSL enabled. SSL ciphers, we choose from the strongest to the weakest. SSL preferred server ciphers, take it on. PostgreSQL manuals suggest that you use the server ciphers rather than the application ciphers. This one is all totally up to you. Now these 3 things are important. Where you saved the server certificate, you need to write the entire location, the entire directory. Where you saved the server key, also the entire location. And where you saved the certificate authority. In our case, our certificate authority is not the root certificate. Root certificate is done, we are not use it anymore. Our certificate authority is the intermediate certificate that is signing and trusting all other certificates. One of them is the server certificate. SSL CRL file, the certificate revocation list. If you have it, you add it. I don't have it. Password encryption on. I'm using MD5 later on. This is the basic configuration of the server. There are many other configurations. You need to check them if you wish, but I'm doing just the basic configurations here. Control X, yes, enter. Now we need to restart the server so that this new configuration takes effect. And the way to do that is one of 2. Either we use the reload or we use the restart. Most people don't use these flags. These flags are important to control your server restart. You need to read them, read each one what it can do. There are many other flags, but I choose this one because they have direct effect on the restart process of the server. So let's do them. This is the data, the cluster data. -m. Now we need to restart the server so that the configuration we made, the changes we made on the server configuration file to take effect. So let's see what will happen. Okay, we got a permission denied. Now why is that? If we read why, we see that the server key PEM, we have no right to access it. Let's see what's the story. Change directory. ls-lh. You see now the server key, the owner of the server key is the root. Now this user this cluster, PostgreSQL cluster of databases, want to access to this key, but it cannot because it's owned by the root. So what we need to do is that we need to change the owner of this key and make it this user. And the way to do that is write your user. In my case, this is my user, and then server key dot pin. This way you will change the ownership of this server key to the user instead of root. Let's see -lh. You can see now the owner of the server key is smadmin, which is the user, and therefore the cluster of databases, the PostgreSQL, will be able to access to this key. Now let's change directory and restart the server again and see what will happen. Okay, server started. In this way, all the changes that we have mentioned in the configuration file of the server have been taking place, have been taking effect, and now our cluster of databases also is SSL enabled. In the next video, we will talk about the client authentication file, that is the pg_hba file. Thank you very much.